I'm Andy the Palm Springs Linguist on a road trip from Palm Springs to the Grand Teton National Park. Come join me as I explore the national park while exploring 5 ways that the French language is more efficient than English. My mom's first language is French. My grandmother, she was French Canadian, and my grandfather was Belgian. Although my mom never spoke to me in French when I was a little kid, anytime she would get around her sisters and her mom and she didn't want me to understand, whenever she wanted to say something adult, she would switch to French. Speaking of adult, the name of these mountains, Grand Tetons, has its origins in the French language. Grand means large and Tetons means nipples. Do you see a connection between the name and the mountain range itself? Apparently some French Canadian did. It wouldn't surprise me if the French word has a connection to an English slang word as well, which I'll leave up to your imagination. While the name of this video is 5 ways French is more efficient than English, in no way am I saying that French is more efficient in general than English. Both languages have ways that they are more efficient than the other, and the purpose of this video is not to analyze the efficiency of the 2 languages overall, as most languages are more or less equally efficient, but in different ways. However, the following features in French stand out as especially efficient. So let's start the countdown, and wish me luck in my French pronunciation. I'll do my best, and if you're a native speaker, please tell me in the comments section below how I can improve. The number 5 way that French is more efficient, the preposition chez. The French preposition chez is quite an efficient way to communicate at the house of or to the house of. You may know the Spanish word for house is casa. Chez is related, but it is not a noun, but rather a preposition. Let's look at some examples. I'm going to your place. Je vais chez toi. There will be a party at my house. Il y aura une fête chez moi. The preposition chez is not only efficient, it's also unique. Not even closely related languages such as Italian, Spanish, or Portuguese have an equivalent preposition form of this word. On to the number 4 way that French is more efficient. 2 ways of saying yes. Most of the time, the French word for yes is oui. However, when someone says a negative statement or question and you want to disagree, you use si. This efficient little word avoids confusion that often happens in English. Imagine if a friend said to you, "He's not nice," but you disagree. Could you answer with just yes or no? Since in English, it can be confusing whether to disagree by just saying yes or no, you likely would feel compelled to clarify. For example, you might respond, "Yes, he is," to avoid them thinking that you meant, "Yes, I agree that he's not nice." In French, no clarification is needed. Since French uses oui to respond to positive statements or questions, and si to disagree with negative statements or questions, the efficient single word answer of si clearly communicates that you think he actually is a nice guy. A language that is efficient in disagreeing with someone, that might be useful. Okay, we've reached the halfway mark with the number 3 way French is more efficient, the generic pronoun on. I went back and forth whether to include this on the list because English actually does have a direct translation of on in the pronoun one, but it's rarely used. Yet the French pronoun on is used frequently. The English pronoun you can mean 3 different things. You singular, tu, you plural, vous, you generic, on. Often when we say you in English, we don't actually mean you specifically, but rather we mean people in general. For example, you should floss every day. I'm not telling you specifically to do this, but rather I'm giving advice to people in general. Have you ever caught yourself giving advice using the pronoun you, and then you were concerned that the person may have thought you were talking specifically about them? Not in French. A Frenchman would have used the pronoun on with no chance of misunderstanding. And now the number 2 way French is more efficient, using adjectives as nouns. French nouns and adjectives work closely together in a flexible way in that once you have established what you're discussing, you can omit the noun and use the adjective as a noun. You can't usually do that in English. English typically requires that you use an extra word, the pronoun one. Imagine you're trying to decide whether to wear your black shirt, your white shirt, or your red shirt. I'll wear the red one. In French, the red one is la rouge. No need for a pronoun because the adjective is the noun. And now, the number 1 way that French is more efficient, the second person plural pronoun vous. The French personal pronoun system makes a distinction between you singular and you plural in a way that English does not. Since the English pronoun you can be singular or plural, the person being referred to as you has to figure out whether it was them being referred to or them and the people around them. In most English dialects, to clarify that you were referring to a group of people, you have to use a workaround, such as all of you guys, both of you three. In years past, English actually did make the same distinction. Thou was the singular pronoun, and you was supposed to be the plural pronoun. However, that distinction was lost many years ago, and now you carries the weight of both singular and plural. One English dialect that has an efficient solution for this is American Southern English with y'all. In fact, y'all is a single syllable pronoun, just like the French pronoun vous. Perhaps other English dialects should adopt this handy word. These have been 5 ways French is more efficient than English. Whether you speak French or any other language, what are some ways that that language is more efficient than English? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. These have been 5 ways that the French language is more efficient than the English language. I'm Andy the Palm Springs Linguist at the summit of the Grand Targhee in the Grand Tetons. If you'd like to see more content like this, please click like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. The Grand Tetons, they've been spectacular, but it's time to head back to Palm Springs so that I can be off to the pool.